Welcome to the Money Professor. I am Chris. I am the Money Professor, and welcome to class. We're going to give it a few minutes to see who else jumps in here, but we'll get started here in just a few minutes. And those of you that are out there, if you have any questions, please drop them in the questions box there in the chat box, and I will answer them while we're live right on the show. So don't hesitate. All right, well, let's get started. So again, welcome into the Money Professor. If you've been here before and with us, we started just a few weeks ago, and it's a thought-provoking time of thinking about how to think differently about your money. That's what the show is all about. Is I'm trying as an educator. I am a nationally certified financial education instructor. That's what that is right there. And so again, I teach the topic of money in all directions. Mostly my personal specialties is on the financial income planning for retirement income planning and so forth, and how to develop retirement income accounts. That's my personal specialty. Also, the taxes upon your retirement income and how that has changed and what you really need to be aware of. Also, what we're going to talk about tonight, again, we're going to get off the basics. We've been focused on the basics for the last few weeks since we started. The value of the budget and how critical it is to literally take a pen and paper and literally write down the budget and physically write it out, and how important that really can be for one. And so we're going to start to now get into some intricacies of financial planning, and only because we've got a personal situation that is at hand, and that is inheritance. Recently, my mother passed away and left my brother and I an inheritance. There are some rules, and the rules changed in 2020 about inheritance and what you can do with it and how you have to treat it. And so let's focus on that tonight and share some bits of information with everyone out there who may be or expected to be in the same situation in the near future or are right now. Again, the statistics are quite notable. It's more than 70% of America passes assets from one generation to the next generation. And that's quite a few people out there passing money to the next generation. Uncle Sam has made note of this, and now they have made restrictions on a lot of things that we used to have free and easy way to pass that money and make it last a lifetime and tons of benefits and all the way around. Well, that has stopped. In 2020, with Secure Act, the IRS rewrote the rules of inheritance, and all qualified plans, which is simply IRAs, 401ks, any pensions that have a beneficiary beyond spouse option, any of those qualified plans or partnered plans with the IRS, they now fall subject to the 10-year rule, which simply states once you receive that asset as an inherited piece, two things come into play. If the individual leaving it to you died before they started to use their required minimum distributions, the RMD, if they died before that, you've got a problem. You've got to really compress. You may be stuck in 5-year rule where you have to liquidate the account within a 5-year period of time. Most likely you'll fall in the 10-year rule where you have to liquidate that account within that 10-year period of time. You have to claim every dime of that as income as you receive it. That may push you into a higher income tax bracket. And by design, Uncle Sam now gets to collect higher taxes from your entire life. So passage of money has to be very careful. It has to be very well thought out. And for those that want to pass money to the next generation, I can show you many different ways to do it beneficially and, most importantly, tax-free. So there are ways to push money into the future and do it tax-free, and I can certainly show you how. It's one of my specialties. So let's talk about the monkey in the room here, or the case at hand, and that is receiving an IRA as an inheritance. Now, this, to be clear, started off as my father's IRA. When my dad passed, my mother inherited that IRA, and she was able to make it her own IRA. That is a spousal rule. So the surviving spouse can simply absorb it as her own, recalculate the RMDs, and then that becomes her now required minimum distribution amount over the rest of her lifetime. Within that, when she dies, as long as she's in that distribution phase, my brother and I, or whoever is a beneficiary in such a case, we must maintain that RMD requirement at the minimum. So that simply means my mother died early in this year. This year, my brother and I have to claim the $44,000 that will be distributed from this account as an RMD, and we have to claim it as income for ourselves. It's going to push us into a higher income tax bracket. So here again, it's something that cannot be avoided, except for if we liquidate the account all at once, pay all of the taxes all at once, and just get it done. Just bite the bullet and get it done. Now we can get rid of that monkey, and that dollar that is left is ours and ours alone, and we can spend it as we like. We can do what we want with it. There are no restrictions, and it becomes absolutely easy money to use. So there's different ways to look at inheritance and how you can work with it. In this case, I plan on taking some of that inheritance, and I'm going to use that to put forward into my retirement future as a non-qualified investment. The non-qualified investment, which is the classification of this inherited asset, once I pay the taxes, it becomes non-qualified, meaning I've gotten rid of Uncle Sam. And now those dollars can grow into the future in that tax-favored environment. I intend on putting it into a compounding interest growth account, and I'm going to get some bonus on the front side by doing so, and it's going to grow rather nicely over the next 10 years. And that's really when I intend to use it. Maybe 10, 15 years down the road, I will use it as a laddering piece to accentuate my income at the time. So there's a planning strategy that you have to think about with all monies. Inherited assets have to be received in a very specific way. If we receive this and run it through the full 10-year account, they have to retitle the account, and that title simply has to be this: the inherited IRA of Judy Longworth for the benefit of Chris Longworth and Tony Longworth. Now, that means it's identified as the inherited IRA from my mother, and it's going to me and my brother. And that titling allows the IRS then to give us that opportunity to do either one thing: cash it out all the way, or use it and stretch it out for the 10 years and pull those RMDs out each and every year over that 10-year period. But then in that 10th year, you must liquidate the account completely and close it down in that 10th year. So no longer do we have the lifetime stretch. Now, prior to 2020, we had the lifetime option where I could have taken this account and literally stretched it out over my brother's and mine's lifetime, increasing the value many times over the day that we receive it. And that's how you can grow money through distribution. So we don't have that option anymore. The IRS saw the value in that and went, aha, we don't want to do that anymore. We want that tax money. We want it all up front, and we want it all right now. So they changed the rules and laws so much so that here we are today. You either have to maintain those RMDs for 9 years and then liquidate the account, or you can liquidate the account all at once and pay Uncle Sam his taxes. Because remember, at the end of the day, all qualified plans that are passed to the next generation, Uncle Sam is first in line, and he has his hand out, and he must be taken care of. There's no way around it. You cannot find a way around. Trust me, there's no way around it. You just have to deal with it. So you've got a choice. You can deal with it up front, or you can stretch it out over time, whatever suits you best. I say do some math, take a look at your income tax status. Where are you income-wise? If receiving it all at once pushes you from 22% to 35%, that does not make sense because you're going to pay a whole lot more taxes on the whole lot of your life. So, how about making sure that the RMD doesn't push you into a higher income tax bracket? And that way you can stay within your bracket. So, if you're in the 22% bracket and you receive that RMD and you stay at the higher end of that 22% bracket, but you're still in the bracket, maybe that's the better way to go so that you don't actually pay extra in taxes. So there is some strategy again, and you have to think about it like a chess game. You've heard me talk about it before on my radio show, and I've talked about it often here on the YouTube channel. But income planning is a strategy of chess. It's just like a chess game. Move on the board 3 or 4 pieces in advance. You have to be thinking that far out to be able to capture all the gains that are due you and protect yourself from all the volatility that is out there. So income planning is a very specialized part of the overall topic of financial planning. Trust me, salespeople in this world who sell things in the financial space, financial salespeople, cannot and will never be able to plan lifetime income, as they don't have the training, they don't have the knowledge, they don't possess the very tools that are required to do so. This is a specialty. And this is why you, as the consumer, you have to be looking for that purposeful meaning. What is your expectation from the money that you're saving? What are you expecting that money to do? And then when must it do it? That is what's going to drive you to the proper type of investment. And so proper income planning and proper financial planning go hand in hand. And the income planning at the end of the day is going to win the argument in the fact that, remember, all well-built income plans are focused on one thing and one thing alone, and that is monthly cash flow or annual cash flow. But how much you have every month or every year is how much quality of life you get to buy. And there's never going to be an argument about that. So using tools that foster that, using plans that facilitate that, using the psychology of your mind and how your money is going to work in your life. What is the and you've heard me say, what is the philosophy of your retirement? What is the philosophy of your financial plan? What is the psychology that drives it behind it? These things have to be rethought. This is where the predatory environment has taken this away from most of America and replaced it with just go do this or just go do that or just hang in there, you'll be fine. And it's craziness. It's absolute madness. I read a book called The Psychology of Money, and I encourage everyone to look it up. It's a great read. In that, you'll find that one of the statements he makes is so telling. When we look around us in our world around us, people in our life are not everybody's crazy, folks. Trust me, not everybody out there in the world is absolutely crazy. But if you watch what they do with their money, they do some of the craziest things with their money. And I have story after story that I could relay with you, and I would love to do so. But for any of you who would like to take a deeper dive into this, I'm going to give you a phone number right now, our 1-800 line. Call that, talk to Rebecca, leave your name and number. If she's on the line, trust me, we'll get back to you as quickly as we can. But as simply as this, it's 1-800-719-7917. So again, 1-800-719-7917. Call that number, leave some information, set up an appointment with me. I'll be more than happy to go through and help you understand how smart money management skills can really enhance your financial life and make a total difference in what you're trying to achieve by accumulating money and assets. Again, understand the truth and facts of how money works, and you get to now use education and knowledge to make knowledgeable decisions about your money and not guess. Because remember, folks, when you guess, you flip that coin, half the time you're going to lose. 50% of the time loss opportunity is never acceptable in financial planning. That's just not allowed. So don't put yourself there. Get smart. Use smart money management skills. Learn what the Wealth Defender strategy is all about. Apply it, right? Use it in your own financial planning, and you'll find that two things will take place. You'll stop losing money, and all of a sudden you'll have a little extra to spend on yourself. It raises that quality of life. And if you're saving for the future, I can certainly show you how you can do it in the most beneficial way using compounding growth. And so there again, build that budget, folks. The foundation of financial power is making tools for you to use that will help you. The budget, it's so critical. Build that budget. Put that budget on a calendar. And now, folks, you have created the most powerful financial tool that one could hope to possess is a budget backed up with a calendar. Now we've got a roadmap, a guide. We can redirect assets where needed. We can follow everything that's happened. We can see what's going on and make changes as needed. It allows you to become flexible and nimble with your money. That's where people are gaining success. That's where true power is going to come from your money management skills, is using better, smarter skill sets. That makes sense? So again, it's just learning some basics about the truth and facts of how money works, and then you being able to use that knowledge to decide and make better decisions based on truth and facts, not the hype and fiction of the marketplace. So once again, folks, I love helping everyone out there. I know we're going to run over time here a little bit. We try to keep it short. I don't want to blow your heads up with too much information. But if you really want to learn more and you really want to take a one-on-one view, and I'm more than honored to do this with anyone who calls in, it's 1-800-719-7917. Again, it's 1-800-719-7917. You can find me at thefinancialeducationgroup.com. You can get to me at wealthdefender.com, themoneyprofessor.com. I'm everywhere. And so once again, anytime that we can be of assistance to anyone, you want to use education, smart money management skills to gain control and grow assets in the smartest possible, safest way, that's what we can help you learn how to do, folks. And that's what we are driven to do. So give us a call, jump online, set up an appointment with us, reach out, let us know you're there, and we will help in any way that we possibly can. So again, thanks for coming to class. We look forward to next week. Remember, every Thursday night at 6 p.m., we're going to do 10, 15 minutes like this. And hopefully you guys get some good value out of this. And again, I love the feedback. So give us some good feedback. Remember to subscribe, like, and share with all your friends. That's important. So again, if you have any questions specifically, let us know. How can we help? What would you like to learn? What would you like to see? I have a broad information group that we can share, a broad information set that we can share with you guys. So again, let us know how we can be of service, and we look forward to next time. Class is dismissed.